What's good? This is going to be a recap on HOOD and then HDB, some random bank stock that I found on my scanner. I'm just going to show the proof. So these are the positions. It's kind of blurry, I don't fucking know, but those are the positions. It's on my Twitter, it's obviously fucking me. Let me zoom in. It's on my Instagram as well. 700. This was Friday. Anyways, I just want to make two recaps on these trades. So basically, I just want to point out that this was kind of fundamental as well, based on the overall market. So as you guys know, I was mega bullish on this. Turn my music down. I was mega bullish on this fucking market, and obviously I switched sides immediately because we started dumping, and I think I switched like. I didn't switch after this day because I wanted to see a bottom at like 580, but this war keeps getting dragged on, and Iran does not want peace. I keep saying that Iran does not want peace. They keep saying Trump is lying. They have troops ready for ground warfare. So I think we go lower. I'm not gonna lie. I think QQQ unfortunately wants to go down to here 450. So fill this gap. If not anything, at least we have 500, so 450, 500, or like this level here. But like, bro, it's getting ran through 100%. I think like, and every single correction has, you know, had like a what, 25% dip. This is a lot more, 36. This is like a fucking full bear market. Damn, that's it. But anyways, something y'all gotta realize too is when we accumulate for this long, orders are going to rack up. People are gonna want to sell this shit. Okay, again, I think it started with like AI stocks getting oversold or overbought, sorry, and then this war being dragged. We were in this little chop zone, and we sold off. So, and look how violent this drop is. We can go a little lower. We're gonna have to pull back and retrace a little bit. Honestly expect like a green day maybe Monday, so that might affect HOOD a little bit. Hopefully nothing really happens too much, but again, it's gonna do whatever it wants to do. Honestly, like all these mid caps kind of like literally got oversold or sold off a lot sooner as well, because look, this shit sold off in January, right? We didn't sell off until like, you know, now. So again, these could sell off even harder. I'm not gonna lie. We have a zone. We have a zone right where we're at right now currently, right? We could bounce off of here. We could bottom here, honestly, but I doubt it because again, this has been correlating with QQQ tech. So I think QQQ is gonna kind of just drag it a little bit. So I do think HOOD wants to come down to 50. That's probably where I plan on selling everything. I'm not gonna lie. I'm changing the way I trade a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I only have 2 contracts. I'm not gonna be trimming at all yet. Again, I want to ride the wave. This is just how you're gonna make money in the market, honestly. I mean, with a small account like mine, honestly. But so that's basically what I'm gonna be doing when I manage this whole thing. But basically, what I did to find. I'll go into HPD later, but HOOD, I just kind of came across HOOD, looked at it, and the reason why I took shorts is obviously I'm just fully fucking bearish now. But the one thing I want to mention too is I had HOOD leaps around. I bought them around here, right? And what I noticed was HOOD was just kept making lower lows, just every single fucking day almost, right? Every other day we just kept making lower lows, right? And then we obviously was gonna break out of this, right? And on this day, obviously, I took it at not at close, but I took it right here, and I swung this at break even because I don't know, I was just so confident for some reason that this was gonna dump lower. And again, because of QQQ, this was yeah, took it Thursday, right? Thursday in QQQ, we dumped like that. And normally when you see a sell off like this, especially when you have fuck off. When you have NVIDIA breaking down, that's not good. you have Nvidia closing like this out of this level, that's not good. And we've been buying back up tremendously from a lot of these points here, especially in this range, and it was just kind of obvious that it wasn't going to happen this time, because with the war headlines, right? Iran does not want peace. It doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like you have to really use news. I've been trying to incorporate news into my trading as well at the same time, especially in times like these. So that's kind of where I get my bias, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm still swinging this, of course. Basically what I did, like I said, I took the trade pretty much in this consolidation, literally right here. Stop loss was at these highs here. We ended up gapping down, and then I think when it pulled back here, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of in my head a little bit, but I realized, like, bro, we're bearish long term. Like, I'm cool with stopping break even if it has to go break even, but again, like, I trusted my bias, I trusted my conviction, and we're back down where we closed, right? HDB, this stock was correlating pretty much with the same thing. Post market, by the way, gapped up and closed here, I think. So I think I lost like $70 of profit on this, but HOOD closed lower post market, so I think I gained 70. So I think I'm like still 700 on both trades, but anything can happen Monday, honestly. But HDB though, I came across this stock on my downside scanner. I have a scanner downside. All I did was switch the EMA settings, and I just found this, and this was just falling. Like, and again, bank stocks are weird. Bank stocks are weird. They kind of just like die if they want to, right? So again, I don't really know where I want to take profit on. There's a lot of like trend line liquidity up here. If I can short this to $18, I'm all for it. Because again, I think this market is going to violently fucking drop. So I have trimmed. See, I had 8 cons when I bought this trade, and only have 2 on HOOD, right? So I'm not going to sell any HOOD because I only have 2 cons. I'm going to take advantage of my contracts. HDB, I have 8. I sold 3 so far. I'm selling them in a strength. I have 5 left, and I sold 3 so far. Yeah, I have 5 left. I'm going to probably let these run as much as possible. Might want to trim some there, and then probably, yeah, I'm definitely going to trim my next couple contracts right in this zone here for sure. So I'm going to let it die down to here. And when I say that, I don't mean like it's going to happen for sure. Nobody knows what the market's going to do. But again, you have to trust your conviction. I used to have the biggest problem with just trying to, I would always get in my head too much on predicting, or what's that word? I'm trying to manage my trade, if that makes sense. I used to say managing your trade is the hardest part of, trading. I think it is. Managing your trade is the hardest part because the psychological aspect of it is very challenging, because you can get greedy so easily. You know what I mean? Like, some people might want to call me being greedy, letting HOOD go to 50. I'm trusting my conviction in that case, right? I might end up having to trim around here. I'm not going to let 2 cons go to 50. Because I think 50 is going to bottom, honestly. I think 50 is the lowest point HOOD's probably going to go, right? So I'm going to definitely trim one of my cons realistically, just probably in this zone here. Probably when it breaks like 60 and falls a little more, or probably 60, depending how much I'm up, like if I'm satisfied with it, because 60 is definitely a psychological level, 100%. So yeah, I'm probably gonna trim one con 60 and let the other one fall flat to 50. And if it doesn't fall to 50, I go break even. You know what I mean? And again, I'm definitely realizing like $400 if I trim at 60, I think. Or no, definitely a little more, probably like 700. Because I think if I let 2 go to 50, it's like 3K I make. I don't know, but I'm not worried about that. But again, this bank stock, I think this bank stock can fall. Just by fucking looking at it. I took a breakdown, just a simple breakdown. This is my trend line as well. I wanted to short it in the morning, but again, I wanted to be sure, and this kept just making lower lows, and we just kept slowly dragging down, no volume whatsoever. Took the break, boom, all right, swung it. I think it closed down here. and then post market gapped up and closed up here. So I was down on Hood and this overnight on Thursday night, and then we gapped down obviously, and then yeah, we just kept moving lower. So that's why I'm not worried about this closing up here post market, because it doesn't fucking matter honestly, just because of what happened Thursday night. And again, I'm right, I already took some profit on this, so I cut the stop loss entirely as well. So yeah, like there's really nothing else to it, because again, I trade so simple. I trade so simple. There's nothing, like, nothing's complicated about this. Anybody can do this shit. The only difference is I have more screen time than like, I don't want to say most people, because I'm still a beginner. I'm only 2 years into trading, but I have, you know, more like screen time is everything. You can't buy from somebody, right? So like, if you're a beginner trying to trade the way I do, it's gonna be a lot harder for you, because you know you haven't seen the same shit that I've seen, right? And then same thing with somebody that's been trading for 10 years talking about me. You know what I mean? Like, I learned from people that have been trading from like at least 6 years, 10 years. So it's just all perspective. It's all perspective. So yeah, basically just going over everything. I'm super bearish in the market. I think I want to short QQQ. If QQQ gaps up Monday a lot, I'm taking shorts. I'm shorting Qs probably all the way down fucking here. Probably just realistically to this gap, because this is a bigger gap here. I do think it can hit 550, but probably just going to short it at this gap here, just being realistic here. Wait, it's right there. Yeah. To go to weekly, this is the thing. Look how much price accumulated here for this fucking violent drop. Same thing with this. This was pretty violent. The second leg down on April tariffs, this was brutal, man. Like, this was whatever. And we have another, like, bro, 20%, 18%. In what? How many days? 18 days. Wait, I'm stupid. 13 days, so I was looking at the percentage. Yeah, that's really all I have to say on my recaps. But yeah, all the 700s unrealized still, of course. Again, I do think these are going to go a lot lower, and I'm going to make a little bit more. But whatever, I think does not matter. I just want to get that clear in your head, and then, you know, I'm saying it obviously for myself to understand that. So yeah, I did not make, nothing's realized yet, so I'm going to trust my conviction. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself and get in my head too much and worry about the profit or getting stopped out. So that's just the approach I think everybody should be taking when they start trading. So yeah, I don't know how to end this. I'm not a YouTuber, so peace.